Before April 2016, Beyonce Knowles Carter operated behind an impenetrable wall of public relations. Her celebrity image was polished, deeply guarded, and engineered to project flawless control. Then, an entire visual album materialized without warning. It offered an unvarnished look at a fracturing marriage, dropping the audience directly into a narrative of betrayal that shattered the illusion of a perfect union. The immediate public reaction was pure tabloid obsession. Millions of listeners scoured the lyrics, hunting for the identity of Becky with the good hair, and consuming the project as a high-budget celebrity exposé. Beyonce uses the personal betrayal as a proxy, grounding the intimate narrative in the historical devaluation and trauma of Black women in America. She assembled a staggering creative roster. This diagram maps the project's inputs, drawing lines from rock icons to seasoned ethnomusicologists. One line reaches back decades. The track Freedom integrates field recordings of prisoners in the Jim Crow South, weaving ancestral voices into a modern beat. Those archival samples were captured by Alan Lomax, who traveled the American South recording folk songs and work chants to preserve marginalized voices. For audio engineer Stuart White, merging these disparate elements was a grueling technical sprint. He took 70-year-old analog tapes, isolated vocal tracks, and modern digital demos and stitched them together to ensure they sounded like they belonged in the same room. The resulting album fuses decades of fragmented American history. By engineering these contrasting pieces together, the record functions as a single, cohesive cultural event. With the sonic landscape set, the narrative abruptly pivots. The protagonist takes to the streets with a baseball bat, embodying the complex, destructive, and joyful temper of the Yoruba water goddess, Oshun. This rage carries a specific political weight. The album incorporates a 1962 speech by Malcolm X detailing the lack of protection for Black women, grounding personal betrayal in a wider structural reality. This portrayal of empowerment drew immediate intellectual scrutiny. Author and cultural critic Bell Hooks emerged as one of the most vocal skeptics of the project. Hooks argued that framing property damage and physical violence as liberation constitutes a fantasy feminism. Rather than dismantling the patriarchal systems that cause trauma, she viewed these stylized depictions of rage as a lucrative commodity. This tension creates a paradox. The work functions simultaneously as a stunning anthem for Black liberation and a corporate-backed product optimized for mass consumption. Eventually, the outward destruction subsides, forcing an inward confrontation. The narrative addresses cyclical trauma, examining how a father's historical infidelity